The following content has been modified to appeal with the YouTube copyright system, hence heavily affecting some of the visuals of this video. If you want to watch the unmodified video, please support us over in patreon.com/lazypatreon. Thank you.
Sorry man, we just want fun. Off the walls, got the gall, acting like we're funny. Hit the floor, out the door, shoot it till it's over. Small town, big plans, welcome to October. It is the dawn of a new day, and I yearn for the
So, is it just me, or is 2025 the weirdest year for movies? Starting this year, I wanted to watch more movies and tried to expand my viewing library. And I'm starting to notice that going back to a movie theater is a popular pastime again, since the attendance records of COVID severely affected this to a point that streaming taking over was almost seen as the death of cinema. But fortunately, going to the movie theaters on opening day, paying the ridiculous price of mid-tier movie theater snacks, it's making a comeback. And so is the movie industry, releasing some of the most exciting movies in just this year alone. Mickey 17, Sinners, Bring Her Back. And shockingly, I didn't mind Thunderbolts all that much, despite not knowing who any of these characters are or what was even going on.
Yeah. Oh no.
Huh. It's coming right at us.
Who is that? It's no one. It's nothing. Oh god.
I don't ever catch the Russians messing with me. Russia's the new American.
Okay, fine. Every man for himself.
Отъебись ты от меня, ёбаный ты кусок говна, блядь!
What the fuck?
But even with all of these amazing movies I've come to really love, there's also been some stinkers, for sure. Shockingly though, a lot of these duds are coming from the juggernauts of the industry, whilst the last 2 years have seen a rise in original stories. I mean, I think sequels are still on the rise, and so are remakes to an extent, but we're seeing sequels and remakes with actual new ideas do amazingly well critically and in the box office. Aside from that, this year sees a lot of new movies that I'm actually incredibly excited to see. More than I have been in a while. That new Superman movie looks fun. I've been hearing great things about it. 28 Years Later was probably one of the most iconic trailers of this year, and I'm actually shocked that the Fantastic Four is getting love again, especially the Silver Surfer, because low-key, he kind of a baddie, but that movie was dog shit. We're getting 2 Zach Krieger movies in this year alone, which is so awesome. I love his work. There's also a Toxic Avenger movie coming out with Peter Dinklage as said Toxic Avenger, which is hilarious, and the trailer looks fucking dumb. I just really want to see the Toxic Avenger with dwarfism. I think that sounds really funny. Guillermo del Toro is releasing a Frankenstein movie? But you get what I mean. The last 2 years have given us some of the best films, laying dormant due to the state of things, only to be released with a vengeance during the dawn of an oligarchy autocratic illusion of democracy. And I think this shit is probably the only thing that is keeping me alive at this point. And as much as I would love to talk about Mickey 17 or Sinners, which are two of my favorite movies like ever, I can't. Because as good as those films are, they're not what's restarting the new renaissance of the cinematic experience. Instead, what is really dominating the seats of a theater are the films that you wouldn't expect to make as much as an impact as they are today, especially given the rocky history that these movies started off on. And that's what... As video games become more and more cinematic, with the evolution of console capacity to handle graphics and longer gameplay lengths, and the interactive experience of playing through a story, it was really only a matter of time before Hollywood would want to capitalize off of the success of video games. Now, video game adaptations into motion pictures have always been a point of contention in the entertainment world, being a major part of a video game's marketing or expansion of their brand recognition. Starting right out the gate, when home consoles were outselling the arcade cabinet, the folks over at Sega wanted to expand the name of their newly popular mascot into a cartoon show to cater to the demographic that the games would sell to. Sonic the Hedgehog is probably the first, to my memory, of a video game getting any kind of show adaptation made directly by the video game company itself, Sega of America. And this is especially important to remember because despite Nintendo's most popular mascot, Mario, getting adapted into like a cartoon live-action show called The Super Mario Super Show before Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and even Pac-Man got a cartoon way before those two, Nintendo and Bandai Namco had nothing to do with either of these projects, instead being headed by Hanna-Barbera and Dick Entertainment. Sonic the Hedgehog was the first adaptation where the company actually wanted to engage in a show adaptation as a medium for their franchise, expanding that medium beyond just the experience of a video game. The very first video game movie adaptation was actually from Japan, called Mirai Ninja from 1988. However, if we're going to be talking about the start of this surge in America, we look no further than the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 1993. And, given that movie's infamy...
So the final conclusion we have to draw from this is, not funny plus not funny equals not fucking funny!
What the hell? Is that something you expect to see in the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Things didn't exactly go smoothly once production got underway, with the movie going massively over budget, and the script getting rewritten so many times that a lot of the actors stopped learning their lines since they knew they'd probably just get changed anyway. Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper are all on record talking shit about the directors and saying they hated the experience of making the movie, with Hoskins and Leguizamo even resorting to getting drunk on set just to get through it.
It's a pretty unique experience. It definitely stands out. Whether or not that's a good thing depends on who you ask.
I don't really think we need to talk about how bad that went. From the ridiculous concept of a plot, to the ridiculous script, to the insane casting choices, and the fact that this movie in no way resembles any of this. Super Mario Bros. Is an infamous disaster that is not looked upon fondly, especially by Mario himself, Bob Hoskins.
The worst thing I ever did? Super Mario Brothers. It was a fucking nightmare. The whole experience was a nightmare. It had a husband and wife team directing whose arrogance had been mistaken for talent. After so many weeks, their own agent told them to get off the set. Fucking nightmare. Fucking idiots.
This should have been a Batman signal in the sky for movie executives to not touch video games. At least, not without the people who actually knew what the fuck they were doing. And this would begin the rise of all of these really cheesy, bad, and corny 90s to early 2000s movie adaptations of video games that were not created by the development company of these video games, Shocker. Because if there's one thing that movie executives are good at, it's ignoring itself when it fucks up. Repeatedly. Street Fighter 1994, Mortal Kombat 1995, both of which are kind of just fine-ish. And then you get to Annihilation. Double Dragon was a thing. And then there's Wing Commander. Whatever the fuck that is. As this trend started in the cheesier days of the 90s, going into the 2000s, it gave us more ungodly cringe. Tomb Raider, House of the Dead, Doom, Dead or Alive, the mass majority of the Resident Evil movies, the motherfucking Tekken movies that are a literal bane on everything I love about this dumb fighting franchise, god damn it, and a bunch of Hitman movies because certainly those have a plot that is just beyond bald man killing people. It was certainly a time to be alive. Like guys, we had a poster movie directed by Uwe Boll that was literally just him directing a video game fantasy movie where he kills people who are critical of his movies. That shit is hilarious. Movies based on video games became sparse going into the 2010s. Besides maybe Assassin's Creed and Warcraft being the more recognizable and popular video games to get adapted into a forgettable movie that literally nobody talks about, adaptations at this time were not really considered much. We still got them every once in a while, but they were largely disregarded or forgotten about entirely. That was until this happened.
All your base, all your base, don't belong to us.
Okay, so this is gonna sound like a conspiracy, but I swear it's not, so pay attention. It's gonna make sense, I swear. It had to have been around like 2019 to 2022 where things started to shift in video game movie adaptations, and maybe it was the fact that these movies finally had the budget and the technology to make something more faithful to their video game counterparts, into something more extensive and exciting that the early 2000s just could not pull off. Especially now with CGI and like special effects and animation being like the standard of every big blockbuster. But it wasn't just that. Sure, that helped, but going into the new century, something weird started happening in movie culture. It was always kind of there, but not as excessive as it is now. Okay, so you know how a lot of memes come from movie clips that get reused as like a reaction image to something? Well, meme culture was doing something to Hollywood. They were trying to appeal to that culture more and more. The attempt to get that attention was with this whole forced meme recognition and referential humor to the internet. And it was kinda...
What the heck? Dang internet?
Yeah, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the more natural way that memes form from entertainment. And that is with an ironic but enthusiastic audience taking these movies and making them into a guilty pleasure meme pump and dump. And the earliest example that I can think of is Detective Pikachu.
I know, you can't understand me, but I'm making fucking mac and cheese, and nobody can stop.
Now, Detective Pikachu is the start of many things we will see later on in these video game adaptations of the modern era. The hyper-realistic CGI models, the big cinematic worlds, the loose but easy-to-follow plots that stick to or take homage to the original world of the video game that they are adapting. This movie set the standard for video game movies going forward, but it also is a form of irony when the internet gets its hands on it. And what I mean by this is, regardless of what you think of the quality of this movie, you cannot deny that what carried its success was its marketing of one of the most ridiculous casting choices I have ever seen, making way for the internet to pick up on its ridiculousness and appreciation of its irony. And that was with...
So let me get this right. We're forced to listen to this spa music so your head doesn't explode and kill us all.
Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie?
And I'm sure you can see where this is going. As the approach for Detective Pikachu's release in theaters, all anyone could talk about was that Ryan Reynolds, the man who personified and brought to life Deadpool, fucking Deadpool, was playing motherfucking Pikachu. And this was a movie that had the Pokemon Company's signature on it. What is going on? And to further expand on what we're seeing with these video game adaptations, let's talk about Ugly Sonic.
Meow?
If you don't recall, the very popular and highly successful Sonic movie franchise started out looking like this.
Gotta go fast.
Oh my god. Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Could you imagine, right, if they had stuck with this, how all of the other characters would have looked? I can now only dream of Ugly Shadow. Ugly Sonic was a trend explosion. Everyone was shitting all over this fucking thing, and it's not exactly hard to see why. I mean, just look at it.
Not like last time when the internet got one look at my human teeth and burned the place down.
And to this day, you cannot convince me that this wasn't the point from the very beginning. I have a grand conspiracy theory that this was the plan the entire time. Tease people with Ugly Sonic, then rework the whole movie with a new design that people wouldn't hate. And then the audience would actually give your movie a shot, because you listened to the reception and the audience's initial reactions. This, in tandem, makes the team of Sonic the Hedgehog to be admired as one that actually takes constructive critique. Because otherwise, how the fuck were they able to reanimate this entire movie that fucking quickly? I am not convinced that this wasn't the original intent of Ugly Sonic. They saw the ridiculousness of Deadpool Pikachu, and they had to do something just as absurd and ridiculous for marketing purposes. And that was Ugly Sonic. Now, granted, there's probably no evidence for this, but you cannot convince me that Ugly Sonic wasn't a meme marketing psyop. That wasn't the only thing that Sonic had in terms of its meme marketing. There's also the fact that Dr. Eggman was being portrayed by motherfucking Jim Carrey.
Listen, pal, I don't know if you realize
I'm sorry, Major. What was your name?
Benny.
Nobody cares.
As in The Mask, Ace Ventura, Count Olaf, Grinch Carrey. And not only did this end up being an amazing casting choice, to the shock of everyone, but carries, get it, this franchise on his entire back. To the extent that this franchise is the only thing that is currently keeping him out of retirement. And this casting keeps getting more and more interesting, with Idris Elba as Knuckles, which he ended up doing an amazing job, and even ended up getting his own spin-off show, and the piece de resistance being Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh my god, no, it's John Wick. Playing one of the edgiest characters, who also so happens to be the only Sonic character with a gun and a body count. Do you not understand how perfect this was? Do you even understand what is happening right now? The final example that I would like to point to is probably the one that appeals the most to internet memedom. And that is with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Leave that little guy alone. What the fuck you gonna do if I don't?
I mean, Shaggy as the purple guy. Do you understand all the memes that came out of this casting choice alone?
Are you challenging me?
Oh, too late.
And Corey X. Kenshin and Matt Pat guest star in the movie. It's just a theory is a real line in the fucking FNAF movie. This sort of ironic meme culture that has formed with these video game movies come from a combination of weird casting choices, surprisingly decent art direction, and the people behind these projects reveling in their own absurdity. Like, what the fuck do you mean there's gonna be a movie based on an indie point-and-click horror game about robot furries with Shaggy from Scooby-Doo as the main villain? What the fuck do you mean Jim Carrey fights Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog, which is one of the most polarizing characters in the franchise, is voiced by Keanu Reeves? And the shocking part of all of this is that in some aspects, all of these elements work in their own ways. I enjoyed Detective Pikachu quite a lot for its CGI design, the faithfulness to the lore of Pokemon, but also being able to introduce new ideas to the franchise, and it's truly a love letter to fans that doesn't just look down on its core audience and treats them like they're dumb. The Sonic movies are the same way, albeit they give a lot more characterization to Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. And the FNAF movie... Honestly, if you're a fan of the games, you're gonna like what they did. The costuming, the animatronics, you have it all there. But if you've never, heard of FNAF, never played of any of the games, don't know what the fuck this is gonna be the weirdest movie you've ever seen in your entire life. This is one of the most, baffling things. It's such a so bad it's good video game movie. And the reason this works so well is because video games have been so integrated with the online world. Video game communities thrive online, and the online lingo and meme culture is a big part of video game communities today. I mean, some of the earliest and most popular memes come from video games. Some of the most popular music used in YouTube videos come from a video game soundtrack of some kind. And PC and online gaming have become the standard in modern memory, with the internet becoming a birthplace for even independent video game developers to thrive and make an impact in the gaming industry without actually being part of a AAA title. And what these well-received video game movies do is appeal to this heavily. Whereas past attempts felt like a mockery or an attempt at modernizing video games to a mainstream audience that doesn't play video games. The late 90s and early 2000s made movies based off of video games to appeal to those who are not gamers, made by movie executives who also never played or had passion for the games that they were adapting. Meanwhile, stuff like The Witcher, which is based on the popularity of the games in the books, had a cast that actually likes the franchise. Henry Cavill is a fucking nerd. And also, more recently, it seems that these adaptations are also being made under the guise and directions of the actual development team behind the games being adapted, with Nintendo having a direct hand in their Super Mario Bros. Animated movie. So these video game companies having more of a hand in these projects, the people attached to it actually giving a shit about the games they're adapting, gives faithfulness and new ways to tell a story based on the original. And with the success of movies like Sonic, the Mario Bros. Movie doing alright-ish, most people just kind of enjoying the FNAF movie just on the principle that they played the Living Tombstone song at the end credits. People were welcoming to this new age of video game movies. So even with something as absurd and stupid as a Minecraft movie, given how past video game movies have been great so far, a Minecraft movie meeting the same ironic insanity with Jack Black as Minecraft Steve, people were optimistic about it. Little did we know just how insane need to go into the history of Minecraft. I'm almost positive half of my audience is just made up of extreme stands or something. So I'm not gonna lecture you on this franchise too much other than to say Minecraft is huge. It's one of the most successful sandboxes of all time, with so much versatility on how you can actually play the game. You want to fly around and build houses for fun without the hassle of dealing with the monsters or surviving? Well, try creative mode. You want to test your survival skills and fight off a monster to obtain a somewhat ominous ending after defeating a dragon from another dimension?
Oh my god! Come on! Let's go!
Well, you can do that too. You want to play a game with a one-hit death count and survive for real? Try hardcore mode. You want to make a fucking penis tower out of pink sheep's wool? Fuck it. Why not? You want to open up a fan server so that your base can build a fan-made city in your honor? Yep, you could do that too. You want the game to have even more modes and challenges like battle royales and escape rooms, and mystery boxes and different skin packs, and even more to the base game? Go off, Queen. You want to go on an epic adventure into a fantasy world that looks like an RPG? It's there. You want to make the game even harder by making everything you have to mine, dig up, and build and customize a multi-step process that mimics how it would be perceived in the real world if you were to craft IRL? And also there's dragons.
Am I about to die to a dragon?
Yeah, you could do that too. Minecraft has a very healthy relationship with its core fan base of both modders and base game players. Unlike other video game companies that will drug you, steal your kidneys, leave you in an ice bath with a note that says fuck you, and a sore ass from the butt fucking and human rights violations if you even dare mod a game, or mod a council, or God forbid, preserve. Minecraft kind of lets the community do whatever the fuck it wants. Sometimes this absolute freedom is a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad thing.
You built Auschwitz on our Minecraft server. I was gonna build like a fucking farm here, and you built Auschwitz!
But when the community is at its best, it pops off. Minecraft videos to this day are still popular. Mod features, SMP servers, role-playing servers, builds, skin packs, and the base game being constantly updated with new creatures, biomes, gadgets, and in-game lore, Minecraft is a game that keeps and maintains its legacy spanning 16 years. Even if you can't play all of the fan-made mods because you don't know how to mod the base game of Minecraft yourself, the base game is in constant development and update. People of all ages can play Minecraft. With its accessibility on multiple platforms, including mobile devices, it's easy to understand mechanics and gameplay, and the fact that there's no wrong way to play the game. Unless, of course, you die right away, in which case you're a fucking noob and a loser and you're a dummy and what are you even doing? You're so stupid. Why are you playing video games? What are you doing? Minecraft is so open-ended of a game that you could literally just slap whatever narrative or story on it and it would make total sense. And it's not like Mojang hasn't presented story elements in the base game already. There's tons of lore with all the monsters, their realms, and the final scroll in the credits acknowledging the player as some omnipresent being that gets self-referential. There's also the whole like Minecraft story mode that you could take reference to and adapt into a movie. I mean, you could do that. I think it would be absolutely hilarious to see a hyper-realistic CGI Reuben die in a movie. I mean, I don't know, throw Patton Oswalt in there too, fuck it. But they didn't do that. Instead, they got Jack Black as Minecraft Steve and Jason Momoa as Billy Mitchell for some reason. And this has resulted in the weirdest movie experience I've had in a while. A Minecraft movie is not a good movie. It's not a terrible movie, but it is a thing that exists that makes me feel things. Critically, this is a polarizing film, hitting just near 50% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5 out of 10 on IMDb. People could not be more split. But apparently, the audience loves this movie. I think more so than any other video game movie adaptation that came before that besides Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Like sure, critically it's not doing great, but amongst viewers, it's all anyone has been talking about. And to understand why this movie has become such a talking point, we need to talk about the movie itself in detail. This is your preemptive spoiler warning if you don't want this to be spoiled. But to be honest, if you've seen all the memes on Twitter, you've pretty much spoiled the entire movie already.
The Nether. Wow.
Wait a second, putting it under my waterbed's a horrible plan.
This movie centers around a group of completely random strangers, and I do mean that they are strangers to each other essentially, opening a portal inside a mineshaft to a place called the Overworld. Residing in this strange, square-shaped world is our titular character, Steve, who started as just an average guy from the average world, who has yearned for the mines ever since he was a child. He grows up, gets a day job. Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how Steve got a day job. Steve plays with his microwave dinner like a toddler and returns to the mines to find this orb and a clear crystal box that opens up the world of Minecraft, where Steve resides for years with his tamed wolf dog Dennis. We open the movie introducing Minecraft Steve himself, played by Jack Black. Now, we should probably start by saying that this casting choice is definitely very weird. I love Jack Black, don't get me wrong. He's the perfect casting choice for a children's movie, being objectively the most recognizable actor amongst kids. And it's been that way for 25 years. Since School of Rock, Black has transitioned over from PG-13 comedies to movies curated to a family audience, in both voice acting roles and in family comedies. So, on a name recognition basis for what kids and parents would be familiar with, Jack Black is the best choice, and he definitely carries the film because just being here in it of itself is so ridiculous that it just circles back around to being funny. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but I don't think anyone really could have played the role of Steve. Steve as a character in the game is not a character. He's a placeholder, a default skin, and that is entirely by design of the creators of Minecraft. Minecraft is a first-person point-of-view perspective game. Therefore, when you are playing the game of Minecraft, the character is you. You're even addressed directly in the end credit roll. Minecraft Steve is just meant to represent anyone. So really, the most Jack Black can do with this character is just be himself, and that's what Jack Black does throughout most of the movie. He just acts exactly as he always does, spontaneous and zany. And the only direction he's given besides being the Tenacious D persona is to mentor these random strangers and be an expert in the world of Minecraft. And you know, given the complete lack of any direction, Jack did try his best. However,
absolutely no offense to Jack Black over here, but you can't just throw a blue t-shirt on and say you're Steve. If I imagined how Steve would act as a person, I would not think of Jack Black.
You know, this early in the film, I didn't think I'd already be listing my issues because I'm just trying to tell you what happens. However, I can't ignore this issue because pretending like it's normal would feel like I'm lying to you. Just in this opening monologue, something is very wrong with the writing of this film. Something just doesn't bode right. I can't explain it. It just feels off. I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm starting to suspect that this script, it's weird. It kind of comes across as very...
The Nether. Flint and Steve. Ender Pearl. Crafting table. Elytra wingsuits. Villagers. Iron golems. Hot lava and chicken. Water bucket. Redstone mine. Madonnans.
Try hard. It's a die hard, blow hard, I'm hard, try hard. And look, I get it. I mean, when your two front runners know virtually nothing about the game besides their kids play it or something.
No, you do want to hit them and kill them.
Yes, myth.
Myth.
No, it's true.
That could have gone either way. No!
Of course it's gonna come across as try hard. I'm sorry to the writers, I'm sure this isn't entirely their fault, but you can't just Google Minecraft items and say them out loud in the script, as if that's gonna fix the fact that y'all have never played the fucking game. So, Tenacious Steve builds a portal to the Nether, where we are introduced to the threat of this movie, the Pigmen Empire headed by Malgosha, voiced by Rachel House. Performance-wise, Rachel does fine, although there are some parts of her delivery I would argue sounds like she doesn't even want to be here.
If you can't find more gold, I'll just send you to the overworld to zombify. Was I unclear when I said no one was to waste time on art or leisure?
But otherwise, I like Rachel House. I think she plays an evil sorceress just fine, but Malgosha is just not an intriguing villain. Like at all. I was gonna save this until later, but I think we need to dedicate a segment just to talk about Malgosha. Because although I said that you could put any story to Minecraft and it would work, Malgosha really drags this movie down in how underwhelming she is. So let's talk about...
Minecraft has a lot of villains. Some standard and don't need much of an explanation, like zombies or spiders or skeletons. I mean, if you wanted to expand on their lore by linking them all back to witches or something, that's all very doable. All of that is pretty established in-game anyways. Malgosha, however, makes her debut in the Minecraft movie. She's a character made specifically for this movie. And in a way, I understand why the Nether and Malgosha ended up being the go-to for the story. The Nether in Minecraft is essentially a hell-like equivalent, a desolate place. Only a select few species that have adapted to live there can thrive in the Nether. And yet, there is also so much going on down there. Castle-like structures everywhere. The pigmen having different variants, like the zombie variant, or the piglings, or the brutes, or whatever those warthog things you can ride on. There seems to be a society amongst the pigmen, not to mention the extra creatures that have adapted to living there, like the ghast, or the striders, or the blazes, or the magma cubes. It makes sense to have this place with its many biomes and monsters be the central place of an antagonistic force in the movie. I've seen people, be really confused online, why they didn't just use the Ender Dragon as the main antagonist, or the Wither, or whatever the fuck this thing is. And to be honest, I don't think the Ender Dragon works as a final boss in a movie. In a game, yeah, but in a movie, the Ender Dragon is just a basic-ass dragon. That's really it. And all that's really in the end is Endermen and bedbugs. The ecosystem in there is kind of boring and dull. The Nether has such a rich ecosystem that it does make sense to come here and use the piglings as the main antagonist. But then we get to Malgosha. Malgosha is a pigling who has essentially gotten rid of creativity in the Nether, because as a young pigling, she wanted to be a dancer. And because she got 3 X's on Minecraft's Got Talent, she dedicates her life to getting rid of all creativity in the Nether and to invade the overworld to also stomp out all of the creativity there, because I don't know if you've noticed, but creativity is the overarching theme of a Minecraft movie.
So from that day forward, she denounced all forms of creativity.
Now, because a Minecraft movie is a children's movie inherently, the stupid backstory is fine for a comedy gag, for an elementary schooler to find it funny. They'll get a kick out of it, I guess, but excuse me as I go full Mr. Enter and bitch about a stupid kids movie that I am clearly not the demographic of. Please, John, don't hate me, I love you. For one, Malgosha has the dumbest motivations. I get the humiliation of expressing her creativity and having that laughed at and thus suppressing all creativity. Kind of like if I can't have it, no one can kind of thing. However, the creativity in Minecraft is not rooted in dancing. It's rooted in building shit. Malgosha wants to stop you from building your wool penis tower in Minecraft, all because she didn't throw it back fast enough. It almost just kind of makes her evil for evil's sake, which wouldn't be an issue if it weren't for the fact that this backstory isn't ever brought up again. She never says anything about it, and the only reason we know of her backstory is because the movie pauses in the middle of Steve doing something so that he can just tell us, and it literally doesn't play into much of her plans for the overworld at all.
The sorceress is a pigling queen called Malgosha. Those are her minions. She rules over them in a dark hellscape called the Nether. Listen! Malgosha's path to darkness started the way these things often do.
But the other issue that Malgosha has is that she's just really fucking boring. She has a cool voice, I guess, but for the most part, she's just a pigling with a hunchback. She's not that distinct of a character. Any of the other piglings could have just replaced her character, and the story wouldn't have been any better or worse. Chungus could have replaced her character, and this movie still would have been ass.
No way! I love that place. Lava.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
As a villain, she lacks any depth or intrigue or anything. I just don't see a younger generation that this movie actually caters to clinging onto Malgosha. Let's compare Malgosha to another villain. Let's go with, Thanos. Despite this guy literally killing half of children's favorite superheroes, including Spider-Man, Groot, Black Panther, Star-Lord, and Doctor Strange, kids are still drawn to Thanos. Whether that's the love-to-hate-him type of intrigue, or it's the fact that Thanos makes all of their favorite superheroes team up to take him down, or the fact that Thanos actually poses a real threat. Despite him being a genocidal bad guy, kids like Thanos because Thanos is a unifier for all of these other Marvel heroes to come together to take him down, and kids find that to be really fucking cool. People love an epic showdown, and kids really really find this cool because they also find Thanos himself cool in the sense that he appeals to a younger demographic as a villain that actually makes sense to them. He has all of these cool powers, he's got this cool gauntlet with all these stones in it, he's purple, and you know, kids aren't dumb. They're gonna find Thanos' motivations to be interesting and his backstory fascinating. It's not too complicated for kids to understand. Kids are always gonna ask why, and Thanos gives a reason why that's interesting enough to keep kids intrigued and are at awe with Thanos. Małgosia is just not that. If anything, she seems so much of a jokey villain with her ridiculous backstory that this aura of seriousness with her character tonally clashes with the movie. I think she would work well if she was more of a goofy villain, but she's played so straight and so seriously. Oh well, I guess that's what Chungus is for.
I'm really sorry, but I have to unalive you and stuff.
So R.L. Steve goes to the Nether, where he is held captive by Małgosia, who wanted the orb from Steve to take over the overworld. So he gives it to his dog to run off with into the real world, and yeah, that's about it. Oh my god, was that a Dumbsville reference? Yes. Yes. We meet Garrett Garrison, played by Jason Momoa, on the latest episode of Storage Wars. Oh my god, is that Dan DTM?
Oh my goodness, these balls are so hard.
So Jason Mitchell wins the storage unit with nothing of value in it other than the orb, and his car breaks down and his store is in foreclosure, so he's broke. His only motivations in this story from this point on is that he just needs money.
Do not follow this orb, even if you're a struggling business owner and need a ton of cash fast because there's loads of treasure down here.
We meet Natalie and Henry, who move into their dead mom's house. And I was actually incredibly confused by this because I guess Natalie, who is played by Emma Myers, is supposed to be an adult, and she's looking after her younger brother Henry, who somehow looks older than she does. Anyways, they meet this weird real estate lady, Dawn, played by Danielle Brooks, who also owns a petting zoo in her car or something. And then she fucks off, and that's about it. Cut to Henry, played by Sebastian Hansen at school. You know he's the weird kid because he draws really detailed designs for inventions. Whoa, I wonder which one of these 4 characters are gonna really thrive in the world of Minecraft. Could it be the garbage man, Enid from Wednesday, a random black woman, or the creative kid in a movie where the central theme is being creative? Or maybe it's the guy who's been stuck in this world for like 5 years or something. So Henry shoots a rocket at a giant potato. He gets scolded at by Jennifer Coolidge, who is also in this movie, I guess. And Henry pretends that Billy Momoa is his dad or something to get out of school, and yeah, that's about it. So I'm sure you're probably wondering, when do all of these seemingly unrelated, poorly established characters go to the world of Minecraft? Well, dear viewer, let me tell you. So when Dennis was given the orb, it's a fucking cube, just call it a cube. Oh my god, I hate everything.
Let's get one thing straight. Where I come from, we call this
It has 2 parts, the Orb of Dominance and the Earth Crystal. Garbage Man has the orb at his game store because it was in the storage unit that he bought, and I guess he was just keeping it on display or something. So Henry finds the box, he puts the orb in the box, and I guess it starts guiding them to the mines. And Dennis starts to follow them back into the overworld because I guess this cube wolf has just been living amongst the real world for however long it's been and like hasn't become a cryptid yet or something. The local cube wolf is an aloof creature only found near the mine shaft. They open a portal, these 2 show up and try to stop them from getting sucked in, and they all go off into the world of Minecraft.
We're not in Idaho anymore. I think this is Wyoming.
Now, I should point this out that a lot of the actual set was done with practical effects. There was an entire art department that painstakingly made a ton of grass blocks, props, and all of the other Minecraft items, and I have to admit, that part of the movie is really fucking cool. But then you get to the CGI elements of this movie, and
What the heck?
I really don't... I'm not really sure what to say. On the one hand, I don't know what people were expecting because the premise of this movie is real humans going into the world of Minecraft, you know, like into the Minecraft world as a fleshy human. So, in a way, I understand why it looks like this, but also, why? You know what this is? This is the equivalent of that one Minecraft skin pack that uses real animals overlaid on like the cubic models, and it looks like this. You know what I'm saying? Malgosha senses that the orb has returned to the overworld and releases Steve Portnoy from his imprisonment to retrieve the orb, or else Dennis is gonna get it. Man, I do love this incredibly important character, Dennis the Minecraft dog. So a whole lot of nothing happens for a very long time, and the group does Minecraft things like seek a prophecy from a sheep, fall down holes, and get attacked by zombies and skeletons. And by this point, I'm just kind of fast forwarding the movie until Jack Black shows up again because I'm bored. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the night and day cycle in this world isn't adjusted to the time of the real world. It is canonically a 20-minute night and day cycle. That's fucking insane. I don't know how Minecraft Steve gets any proper amount of sleep, cause what the fuck? So night falls, and Henry builds a fort that immediately gets blown up by a creeper. Oh man. You see, if I use Minecraft references in my script, people will think I'm cool and not totally out of touch. By the way, there's a scene with a sheep being eaten alive by zombies, and it's fucking horrific. I don't know why they put this in a kids movie. This is horrible. So during this night scene, Aqua Team Hunger Force breaks the Earth Crystal. You idiot! Run! So the portal closes, and now they are stuck in the makeshift tower as monsters surround their base. That is until Steve the Kung Fu Panda shows up to the song Little Boo Thing by Paul Russell. See, here's another problem with making Jack Black Minecraft Steve. From a merchandise perspective, no one wants to own a 50-year-old man in a blue shirt with a beer belly as Steve in action figure form. Yes, this is real. And if I didn't know that this was supposed to be Minecraft merchandise, I would have just assumed it was a Jack Black figurine, which I would own anyways because that's kind of awesome. But that's not as Minecraft Steve. What are we doing? So Jack Black says the line,
I am Steve.
and he explains that without the Earth Crystal, the portal is busted and they're basically stuck there. So they need to find another Earth Crystal at the Woodland Mansion.
I will crack your cabeza with my butt cheeks like a walnut.
What did Jason Momoa mean by this? And off we go to the village and meet the villagers, and oh my god!
They're the villagers! They're total pacifists and vegetarians. You don't bug them, they won't bug you.
So I guess since we're here, we should talk about how, you know, this is such a weird design for these things. And I would do that, but I would rather talk about how there's a whole other subplot where Jennifer Coolidge falls in love with these fleshy Q people. And it is as awkward and disturbing as you think it is.
He didn't have any personality, you know? I mean, not like you.
Whoa. Is he some kind of king?
No. That's a legend.
So raise your hand if you think that Jack Black actually knows who Technoblade is. Because I'm about to go out on a limb. So for some goddamn reason, out of nowhere, a Minecraft movie decides that it's now just gonna be a musical. La 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 lava. Cha 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 chicken.
Chicken, 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 chicken.
Hey, did you know that this song was the shortest song to ever chart in the Hot 100? I think the internet is the reason our standards are so fucking low as a society. So Malgosha is all upset that Steve has gone rogue, to the shock of no one but her apparently. So she enlists the help of Chungus.
Crap! Chungus.
I'm really sorry, but I have to unalive you and stuff. Sorry, but I have to unalive you.
No, you know what? I'm better than this. I don't have to do that. I think there are better ways to cope with the cringe. I didn't think I would have to do this. It's been a while. I didn't think I'd have to pull this out yet, but I think we're gonna take a cupcake break. Sup? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cupcake Break. This is a segment on the channel I haven't used in a while, where in times of great pain and distress, I will seek the words of our God, the one and only musician of our lifetime, Cupcake. The following lyrics that I'm about to take reference to in order to soothe my agony comes from Cupcake's brand new single, One of My Bedbugs Ate My Pussy. Listen, I know that we're reviewing like a kid's movie, but my videos have never been for kids. And if you're a child in my audience, leave! Get away from me! The itsy bitsy spider crawled in my booty crack. Down came the rain when I threw this coochie back. Out came the buns, and then dried up all the rain. But the itsy bitsy spider drowned in the spot he came. You know, I had a thought. The thought occurred to me for this segment that I should probably get like one of my YouTuber friends with a better sounding voice to read these lyrics, but I don't hate Beckett or TCR that much. It's given Lady Gaga standing in her shoe. She loves tall inches, and I do too. 10-inch dicks, what I like to do. I'm Lady Cock. Who the fuck is you? I would like to take this opportunity to remind my audience that streaming Cupcake's music, all of those streams and all of the money she makes goes directly to Palestinian causes. So not only is it ethical to listen to this music, it also saves lives. Listening to a woman rap Hawk Tuah in a song is ethically sound in the year 2025. I want it deep in my ass. Fuck around, hit a nerve. The dick tall like Remy, so the boss gets burned. LA fires won't happen if a bitch just squirt. God. He want head, but he broke? I say, ta-da-da. Mount Ferris, I can't say that. You will never feel this top. Wanna bust on my face? I'ma dodge that cock. He gonna miss this face like when Trump got shot. Ethically sound music. Okay, listen. When I die, right, if this sinful bitch somehow makes it into heaven, not that I ever will, but if I somehow manage and Cupcake isn't there, I don't want to go. This woman is like Jesus to me.
So the piglins raid the overworld, which makes me curious as to why they would even need the orb at all if they can just do this anyway. And then Khal Drago hits Steve in the face with a bucket, and it's fucking hilarious. They get in an epic fight, and the group splits up into boys and girls because sexism in the Minecraft movie is based. It's okay though, what this movie lacks in women's empowerment, it completely makes up for in the gay male tension between Jason Momoa and Jack Black. They're flying away from the piglins and the gas, and I swear this is a real scene I am describing that happened in this movie that I watched with my 2 eyeballs. Jason Momoa and Jack Black 69 each other in the sky to fit through a gap in a cliff. So here is where all of the characters are at now. Henry has made a gun that shoots potatoes, which isn't a thing you can make in the base game of Minecraft at all, but I guess he's just playing a different mod pack than everybody else. Lobo wants to mine for diamonds to save his gaming business. Natalie and Dawn are having some offhanded character development that you will not care remotely about, and they find Dennis, this very important character. And Steve is just here doing Steve things, like naming off every Minecraft item he sees like a normal person.
TNT, firework rockets, diamond armor, an ender pearl, crafting table.
So they go through a mine shaft because Conan the Garbage Man really needs those diamonds. And then they are almost killed by a giant piglin and Creeper. Oh man. This fucking stupid joke.
What's the problem, man? We didn't need those stupid diamonds. I swear, you are literally the most selfish person I've ever met.
Oh, come on. Are we having character tension now in a scene where so far I've been given literally no reason to give a shit about the friendships of any of these characters? So Dewey Finn has a plan to sneak into the Woodland Mansion because I guess at some point we just make it here, I guess. Another issue with this movie is in its editing. Scenes do not go well together, and weird cuts in the movie make it very hard to show any passage of time or how characters get to certain locations. Like with this moment, we have Steve giving a demonstration on how they're gonna sneak into the Woodland Mansion, and then it cuts to Steve and Garrett singing another song.
Friendship is the wish you make when you're blowing out the candles on your birthday cake.
You know, I'm starting to taste blood in the back of my mouth. Does anyone else smell toast burning, or is it just me? So Henry is sneaking around, trying to find the Earth Crystal in this storage room. Meanwhile, this little birthday suit distraction puts Ronan Dex and Nacho Steve Bray in an Illager cockfighting arena. Damn, I didn't know they had animal fighting in Minecraft. This is actually really fucked up.
They want me to fight the chicken? It's a fight to the death, kid!
Okay. No, everyone calm down. Calm down. I said fucking calm down! I am going to play this scene now. I'm going to show you this next scene in the movie, and we're all gonna relax, okay? I don't want to see no funny business. We're gonna play this scene, and we're all gonna act completely normal. Got it? All right. Play the scene. So I guess we can't talk about this movie as a phenomenon without talking about what this movie did to people. Because it had a chokehold on the last brain cells of some of you dumb pieces of shit. So this scene, the chicken jockey scene, was a massive meme. It's a meme of the worst caliber as well. The memes that actively disrupt the public life and the people in it. This is like the Jack Doherty type of content, where it's funny to laugh at him, but the context is that he's being a public nuisance. And that's what the chicken jockey scene is. In movie theaters all around the internet, there were clips of people screaming chicken jockey in the theater, and at first it's like, sure, okay, people are enjoying the movie. This is like the equivalent of people applauding during that one scene in Endgame where they say the thing, Avengers Assemble. It's fun, it's a spectacle. But then you get the people who make underpaid theater workers' lives so much harder for no goddamn reason.
This was the scene after one scene of a Minecraft movie. Popcorn everywhere, ices, ketchup, glass. Alexi Alvear has never seen anything like it.
Like this? Not to that extreme.
But he was the one left cleaning up the mess.
Wow, look at that. It took me 3.5 hours.
It got so bad that some theaters had to have a disclaimer from movie staff to please not trash their theater before the viewing of a Minecraft movie.
If I hear any of you yelling chicken jockey in this theater, I will be calling the authorities, not for you, but for me, after I beat your ass. What I can't have you guys doing is throwing popcorn or being disrespectful to those around you. Stay in your guys' seats, yell out chicken jockey. Have fun with this. If there's anyone causing issues, we will kick you out.
On TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever short form content was, you've probably seen the chaos of the chicken jockey aftermath. At some point, theaters were threatening to call the police and escort people out and press charges. Sometimes the movie would be stopped entirely and theaters had to be emptied, kicking out everyone in the showing, including families who had nothing to do with it.
30 dudes came in. They all knew each other. They had air horns and confetti cannons. We didn't even make it 15 minutes into the movie before the manager came out.
Oh man. Guys, I was in the theater watching the Minecraft movie when the theater alarm went off, and there's someone lit the theater on fire. During the movie was so fire that set the building on fire.
Exactly! So a bunch of families just got caught up in the madness, and their movie experience was cut short and ruined, all because of stupid teenagers trying to catch a charge. I mean, they were throwing toilet paper, popcorn buckets, drinks, confetti cannons, jumping over chairs, and the worst of all of it was when some jackasses snuck a real chicken in the theater twice. It got so bad that theaters had to pull a Minecraft movie from their viewing list entirely. And look, maybe I'm a killjoy or old. I don't know if this is the hottest take, but if it is, I'm sorry for ruining fun. But don't fucking act like this. I get that the director doesn't really care, and some parents are even defending this by saying, oh, just leave them alone, let them have their fun. Last time I remember, I go to the movies to watch a movie, not to get my fingers blown off by a Roman candle. And I know this whole thing was like a long time ago, right? I'm clearly very late to the motherly scolding of the internet, but I don't know if some of y'all know this. Destruction of property is a felony in some states. Like, please think before you do. Be courteous to other people, please, and thank you. Okay, anyways, rant over. The next scene is, the Herobrine scene?
The overworld doesn't need you, Henry. Neither do I.
I guess this scene is a good opportunity to talk about how inaccurate a Minecraft movie is in comparison to the game. Like, the scene where the zombies eat that sheep in that incredibly violent and gruesome way. Yeah, that's not lore accurate, like at all. Potato gun? More like potato none. Enderman frying your brains and causing Herobrine to bully the shit out of you? What do you think I am, a simpleton? You're acting like I don't know Minecraft lore enough to call you out on your bullshit. But I do. I, Lazy Bedhead, the random chick on the internet who is dressed up like Jack Black, who barely plays this game, knows more about the lore of Minecraft than a Minecraft movie made by Mojang! Anyways, I guess the Enderman gives Henry imposter syndrome or something.
You'll never be as cool as me, Hank. Just give up. The overworld doesn't need you, Henry. Neither do I.
This is all your fault, Henry. Everything you do fails. This is all your fault.
Start digging in your butt, twin. Anyways, they escape the Woodland Mansion, and then piglings show up, and they blow up the bridge, and then Baba Voss fake out dies or something. Cut to the gang meeting up in a mushroom house, and Claptrap is reunited with Dennis.
Dennis! It's you. It's really you.
Henry and Natalie, who are supposed to be siblings or something, have a heartfelt reunion. I'm sorry, they've had so little screen time at this point that I forgot that they were supposed to be related or something. So somehow Melgosha got the orb. Don't ask, I don't fucking remember. And she shoots a darkness laser into the sky. Wow, this is just like that one scene in the Avengers, or that one scene in the Fantastic Four movie, or that one scene in Transformers, or that one scene in Transformers 3, or that one scene in Iron Man, or that one scene in Lord of the Rings.
First we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft!
You know, I hope this was truly the peak of Jack Black's career. It is. It's not getting any better than this. This is true cinema right here. And now the epic battle begins between Melgosha and the Pigling army versus the humans building an iron golem army to fight off the giant fuck-off pigman. Henry tries to grab the orb, but is knocked off and nearly falls to his death. But the Aqua Boy, who we all knew didn't actually die, saves him. Also, I know I give this movie a lot of props for its practical effects, but dear God, the diamond armor looks like ass. So Lenny from Shark Tale kills Melgosha, which, let's be fair, she didn't pose much of a threat anyways. I mean, the most threatening thing that she does in this movie is kill a child in this scene. But, like, I kill children every day driving my Bertrucket. So, like, she's doing some weak shit. She needs to step it the fuck up.
Driving in my car right after a beer.
Anyways, they fix the portal, they go home, and I guess Steve is okay with Dennis going with Dawn. I guess it's because of this one scene where Dawn becomes the alpha to Dennis's omega or something. And then Jason Momoa stabs Jack Black and he dies. It's actually a pretty violent scene. I don't know why they left this in the movie. And then my favorite end of movie trope happens. An end scene sing-along song where everyone sings Mine Diamonds. Truly an amazing way to end the movie. So I got
movie. The end. So, what the fuck just happened? I mean, I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't think it was gonna be this bad? Or is it just really good and I just don't get it? Objectively, it's a bad movie. The writing is dated and relies heavily on referential dialogue to the game, which comes across as more pretentious instead of entertaining. It's not relatable to anyone who's been playing Minecraft for the past 15 some years or something. None of the characters are remotely interesting or you care about them in any way. There are no stakes to the movie. Malgosha is essentially a non-threat, and Jason Momoa fake out dies like he doesn't actually die. The art design in this more semi-realistic style fits more in with a creepypasta and their hyper-realistic blood than anything. I mean, it sure does look like Minecraft with the shaders turned all the way up, but that's really it. There's no connection to the game at all. But then again, despite all of this, I think the movie is insanely fun, and I couldn't wrap my head around why I enjoyed something this weird and what I can only describe as a fever dream. And then it finally hit me. Why do people like this movie so much despite it being so bad? And the answer is, so, have you guys ever heard of Robert Rodriguez? Back in 2005, Robert Rodriguez directed one of my favorite kids' movies growing up. I was obsessed with Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I loved that the movie had imaginary dream worlds, as I too created my own fantasies worlds as a kid. I loved that it was a superhero movie, but not really. I loved that George Lopez was in it. I thought he was funny. I loved Taylor Lautner as Shark Boy. As a kid, I thought that Shark Boy was cute. What do you want from me? I was like 5. I thought Lava Girl was beautiful. I shipped these two so hard. They're adorable together. I don't care what anyone says. I loved the land of milk and cookies and these giant parents with their cookie outfits. I hated this fucking kid with all of my heart and soul. He ruined Max's dream journal. I just adored this movie. It was such a core memory for me, but it wasn't just this movie. Rodriguez made a bunch of movies just like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Movies with crazy effects, green screen, and superpowers right out of a comic book on the big screen. Hence, Spy Kids. Now, I only grew up with Spy Kids 3 Game Over. You know, the one where Carmen is in a video game and Rocky Balboa is like the head of Blizzard or something. But yeah, Robert Rodriguez had made so many movies, some of which I'm sure you didn't even know he made, but is a favorite of yours. Like, the guy who made Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl also helped direct Sin City and From Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. The guy who made Shark Boy and Lava Girl used to collaborate with Quentin goddamn Tarantino. So yeah, the reason I bring this up is because a Minecraft movie is basically the Shark Boy and Lava Girl of this generation. I will elaborate, hold on. Both movies have very bad CGI effects. Both have an insane cast. I mean, young Taylor Lautner, George Lopez, David Arquette. Minecraft movies got Jack Black and Jason Momoa. You see where I'm going with this? Both have poor writing and ridiculous plots. Both give into the zaniness of their movies. Both are about a kid that goes into a fantastical world. Both have a group of about 5 or so characters that you follow and care about. Both movies are about restoring balance to the world and overcoming an impending or an already prevalent darkness. Both have a CGI antagonist that is either forgettable or scares the shit out of you as a child. Both movies center around the concept of creativity, and both movies end by returning to the real world. Wow, it's almost as if they're the exact same movie. And I don't mean that as an insult. I say all of this because I get it. When I see that low Rotten Tomatoes score for a Minecraft movie, you'd think after, talking so much shit on it, I would think that that was a deserved 48%. But then I remember that Shark Boy and Lava Girl has a 20% rating, and I love that movie, so fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes. I could be one of those, angry critic types that shits all over this fucking movie. Okay, I kinda already did. Plenty have done the same to Shark Boy and Lava Girl. But here's the thing. Anyone who hasn't watched this movie as a kid will obviously think it's weird and bad. I mean, look at it. I mean, clearly it's not intended for the audience of today. CGI and green screen effects have evolved so far from this point that of course this movie is gonna look like shit. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a Minecraft movie faces the same problems later down the road. I mean, people already think that it looks like dog shit now. I can't even imagine what it's gonna look like in like 10 years. But you know what? Who cares? Because I fondly look back on Shark Boy and Lava Girl to this day. And I'm sure a child watching a Minecraft movie is gonna admire it the same way I do Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Because if there is one thing a Minecraft movie is that I can't say a lot of movies are at this point because, you know, my brain no work good and my attention span is short and my memory sucks ass. I at least remember a Minecraft movie. There are so many crazy things that happen in this movie, it's kinda hard to forget it. I think a Minecraft movie should be experienced at least once, for the sole factor that I don't think many movies will do what this movie does. A lot of movies will play things so safe. It satirizes kids' entertainment into something that isn't challenging or fun. And I'm not saying that a Minecraft movie will make you think or anything. Far from it. I think this movie will actually destroy any sense of critical thinking. However, I do think it's a fun time. Like, you know, I miss when movies were fun. When you can just turn your brain off and just enjoy something stupid and out of pocket. And I think that's why this movie did so well. So to give you some numbers here, this movie had a budget of $150 million. It made nearly $1 billion worldwide. It was the third highest grossing film of 2025 and the second highest grossing video game movie of all time. It surpassed the Super Mario animated movie and Five Nights at Freddy's. It had the biggest opening weekend of 2025 at the time. To say this movie was successful would be an understatement. I mean, there's already a sequel lined up, to which the anticipation of is the fear of movie theaters everywhere. This is like their World Wars, I swear to God. Minecraft 2 is gonna be the World War II of movie theaters. A Minecraft movie is a phenomenon that I don't think can be replicated again. This is the peak of mass meme marketing and movie development. Anything beyond this point will just feel pandering and desperate. I don't know exactly what they're gonna pull for the live-action Legend of Zelda that's apparently coming out that we're all so excited about. I think if video game movies spare any chance in the market of the cinematic experience, then it needs to do 3 things. Make more animated adaptations. I think a lot of video games would do really well in an animated setting instead of this live action shit. Hell, I'm still like very confused why a Minecraft movie wasn't an animated movie from the start. I mean, there are so many Minecraft animators you could hire, and they would make an animated Minecraft movie look sick as fuck. Stop adapting cinematic games. So we just had The Last of Us series wrap up its season 2 based on the events of The Last of Us 2. The game, and it was ass. A lot of people did not like season 2 of The Last of Us TV show. But then again, not a lot of players like The Last of Us 2 anyway, so I don't know if this is a really good example. Okay, how about the announcement of a live-action God of War based on the soft reboot of God of War? How about you go fuck yourself? This shit is already an interactive movie that just plays out fine on its own. We do not need a screen adaptation. My point is that video game movies need to respect when a video game has already told its story fine enough in a video game setting. If it tries its hand at making this shit into a movie experience when it kind of already is a movie experience, you're just being redundant at that point. If I wanted to watch a God of War movie, I would just pull up the full gameplay of the God of War game from MK Fire and Ice or something. Tell more original stories using the video game world. I think the strong suit of movies like the Minecraft movie or even Detective Pikachu and even Sonic to an extent is that those movies are stories and not complete retellings of their video game counterparts. The movies are essentially their own thing that can stand out completely separate from the video game. The Sonic movies do go beat for beat with the in-game lore, but for the most part, still leaves in a lot of potential for original ideas for their story. So long as they have the character beats and relationships, Sonic's story can be kind of whatever. So long as Eggman hates Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails wants to suck on Sonic's toes and Knuckles is fist fucking the both of them and Shadow the Hedgehog has a gun and is all emo and cringe. So long as you have all of that, the story can be just fucking anything at that point, and fans would eat that shit up. Look, all I'm saying is, if that Legend of Zelda movie is just Ocarina of Time retold again, I'm not even gonna fucking bother. I've seen this shit already. I don't care. Now, will any of this actually be of any consideration to anyone in Hollywood making video game movies? No. Probably not. Movie executives are notoriously known for making stupid decisions all of the time, and I'm just a YouTuber who also makes very poor decisions, so what the fuck do I know? Anyways, it's shilling time. I have a Patreon that I neglect. I also have Patreon goals that I neglect. Here's a bunch of other platforms that I neglect. Look, just like and subscribe and share the YouTube videos because that's all anyone really cares about anyways, and that's all that matters. Thank you so much for watching. I'm a lazy bedhead. And I am placing rocks and shit cause I'm in fucking Minecraft. I am building blocks and shit cause I'm in fucking Minecraft. Oh my god. Is that a fucking pig? Because I am Steve. I am Steve. Fuck yeah. I am fucking Steve. Because I am fucking Steve. Fuck yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not gonna lie to you, Ka. Every fiber of my being is regretting this entire makeup look right now. I'm so tempted to just rip this off my fucking face, but I'm gonna continue wearing it for the entire goddamn thing because I'm dedicated to the bit. Like, I'm so goddamn sweaty, you don't even know. It's, oh god, it's stuck to my hair. It's like, it's, ah! Bye.